Okay, I'm going to do a little mind exercise here. I'm going to take off of something I did at work for Thursday. Now I'm going to leave out all the military stuff because I have to. This is a thing showing I'm a member of the Academy of Political Science. I'm a fellow. I've been a member of that August thing for quite a while. Here's one from 2007. Anyway, I've been a member for 20 years plus. And I've written a couple of articles for them over the years, and I do every once in a while they give me a research project. That isn't what I'm talking about. That's just to let you know that I'm up on things. So the stock market today ended up at 26,800. They found a little piece of paper that Nancy Pelosi left on a plane that was actually her impeachment speech for the impeachment vote that she's planning on at the end of October. So they gave me this assignment at work. What would happen if Donald Trump was removed from office? Not just impeached. Impeachment starts in the House, but you need 67 out of the 100 senators to vote for it. Now, there's 53 Republican senators out of the 100. There's one independent, and there's one dino. When I say dino, it's Democrat in name only. Joe Manchin of West Virginia votes more along Donald Trump's lines than most Republicans. So he is his state has not even one blue county in it. So he is not going to vote for impeachment, or he wouldn't be able to go back to his home state. So there's literally no way Donald Trump will be removed from office. But the guy at work, my boss, said, let's do an exercise. We need a plan in case. What do you think is going to happen? So I'm real good at long-range projections. So let's suppose Donald Trump does get removed from office. And the reason I'm sending this out is to kind of comfort, as it were, a lot of my friends that are Democrats that are going to be disappointed on this. But I want you to look at the bright side of things. So this is what I would think would happen if Donald Trump was removed from office. So between now and the actual vote, the stock market will probably stay around 20, won't go below 26,000. The vote for impeachment, let's say I don't think it's actually going to go through, but this is a mind exercise. So let's say they vote to impeach him. It'll be about 26,000 flat going into November. The trial will start. Trial would probably take till about the 14th. Let's just say that something unexpected, they found that Donald Trump murdered somebody, or who knows what. It doesn't really matter what it is. The hypothetical question is Donald Trump is removed from office. So a few days before the actual vote, there's obviously something going on. The stock market starts dropping. So I'm going to take the day for the actual removal of office to be November 14th. So something will happen that will cause everybody to turn. The day before the actual vote, the stock market will drop 1,000 points. Let's say they have the up or down vote the 14th. Halfway through the day, the stock market will drop 2,000 points before it closed. The 15th, the Friday, there will immediately be a bank run. The stock market will drop approximately 2,500 points that day. They'll actually put the brakes on it. There'll be riots. Remember, Donald Trump is at 52% approval rating. You've immediately disenfranchised basically half of the country that you've told them that their vote doesn't count. And these are the people that mostly have the guns and are former military. They're going to give up on the system, and they're going to run up their credit cards, take money, and they're not going to pay anything anymore. They're not going to pay their credit cards. There's going to be a plus 1,500 deaths, murders, that plus over the normal for the next couple of days. The following Monday, the stock market will drop to 18,000. It'll rebound a little bit the following Tuesday, because that's what it does. Even on a super downward trend, there's always a day where it comes up just a little bit. But like I said, every day there's going to be a couple hundred more extra murders over the average. 1750. The bank runs will intensify when the 401ks start to fail. And when people start losing massive amounts of their 401k. So what is a 401k? They'll tell you the 401k is made up of 60% stocks and 40% bonds. It's not exactly true. There's some other financial instruments in there. There's utilities, there's real estate, there's some speculative marketing in there. But anyway, if you want to know how money is created out of nothing, the book to read is a book from the 1950s. They still follow the same formula. It was called Modern Money Mechanics. You can get a copy of it. It doesn't cost very much. And they still create money out of nothing using that formula. The book that tells you about how we became on this current system, it was started in the Federal Reserve System, started in 1913. The seminal book on that is The Creature from Jekyll Island. Anyway, everybody's 401ks are going to start to go bye-bye. Now let's go back to the calendar. So now we're around the Thanksgiving holiday. We're at about 16.5 for the stock market. Everybody's panicking, they're scared, people aren't hiring, they're laying people off right and left. Restaurants are closing very fast at this point because everybody's just going to eat canned food. Gym memberships are going to drop. All these little personal trainers are going to lose their job. Standalone nail salons will be a thing of the past. They'll still be beauty salons, but a few of the good ones will get jobs there doing people's nails. So the standalone nail salon is going to be a thing of the past. Starbucks will be blamed because it's the most well-known liberal thing that most people know about. Outside of the West Coast, they'll probably all have all their windows knocked out. It will be noticed that there is no Black Friday, and the stock market will probably close around there at 15,000. We're going to start having more and more riots. The job numbers will come out that there are no temporary hires for the holidays. Unemployment will officially be said to be 7%, but it'll probably be closer to 17%. Credit card delinquencies will be at 50%. There will be a drastic stock market drop that week. It'll go down to about 12,000. There'll be another rebound, a slight rebound. The Illinois pension plan, which is already in trouble, will not issue checks halfway through through December. The estimated deaths per day will jump up to 1,000 extra murders a day over the average. There will be just major rioting in all these cities. Now, we're not isolated, obviously. Italy's been in trouble for a while. The Italian bank will collapse. The UK is working on Brexit. They're doing it slowly but surely. They're trying to really push it out this next month. As soon as Italy goes, they're going to leave. It'll just be, they'll just cut and run immediately. The reason we got in the financial, one of the reasons we got in the financial crisis of 2008 is they never Clinton got rid of Glass-Steagall, which allowed banks to act like stock houses like Merrill Lynch, and it got in trouble, and it should have been reenacted. It never was. The major bank that's in the most trouble is Wells Fargo. I got this just in the mail, and it's a thing from Wells Fargo saying, open up an account for $5,000 and we'll give you $400 cash after you leave it in there. Well, that's kind of like going to a restaurant and you give them $400 and all your drinks are free for the next 2 years. All the iced tea, Coke, and soda that you want, but you still got to pay for your steak when you come in here. So that $400, chances are, you're just going to leave it in that bank, so they're not really losing anything. And remember, they can loan out up to 9 times the cash on hand. So it's a way of them trying to keep themselves afloat. So Wells Fargo will be the first one to the major, too big to fail. The last of the Dodd-Frank banking alter changes in rules made people that actually had accounts in the bank the fourth one on the list to get paid. So the dirty secret is the FDIC, which is a insurance which is an insurance firm for banks, only has like $10 billion in it, so it can't cover hardly anything. Okay, now we're in December 23rd, and Merry Christmas almost. All major European cities will be rioting. Germany will effectively leave the European Union at this time. There's some other things that are going to be going on. So as the rioting gets out of control, NFL games will still be played, but they will be played to empty stadiums for security reasons. Within a day or two of Germany leaving, the euro will be worthless. The NBA will follow suit shortly. There will still be NBA games, but nobody will be there to watch them. They'll just televise them. Credit card failure rate to pay, basically everybody will stop paying on their credit cards. It'll be like 99%. Here locally, SeaWorld will be open. There'll be no shows. You can just go see the animals and just try to raise enough money to keep them fed and taken care of. Six Flags will cancel their season. California pension plan. There will be no checks come March, and that will take down the rest of the stock market. The stock market will at this point drop down to 6,800. I kind of left out January on purpose because that's when all the military fun stuff's happening. I can't talk about it, but let's just say one H bomb sneaks in to the U.S. Eastern seaboard. We have three power grids. There's the eastern, the western, the Texas grid, which is Texas, some of Oklahoma, and some of Louisiana. The most vulnerable one to attack is obviously the one that's facing the Pacific coast because of the multiple threats across the Pacific. The Atlantic is patrolled much better. At least one will slip through and cause an EMP, at which point we will effectively be in World War III, even though it'll probably be limited at the time. Martial law will be declared. Now, one of the side effects of this, there will be dike failures, and the Inland Empire, as LA is known, has no water. All their water comes from the north of the state. It will effectively be on a 45-day water plan, so there'll be 20 million people in LA County on a 40-day supply of water, so there's another problem. There'll also be bubonic plague outbreaks in LA. Not a lot of people know this, but the biggest outbreak of bubonic plague in America happened in 1924 in LA. You can look it up. I'm probably only one in 50,000 people even knows about it. The grocery stores will start being depleted as the system breaks down. The murder rate's going to go up plus 1,000 a day. If you need any medicine, you better have gotten it before this point. Now we're into April. There will be no baseball season. Basketball season, what's left will be suspended. Most colleges will shut down. There will be no new cars. All will be used for war productions. Phone service will no longer be smartphones. We'll be back to a basic phone service at this time. You will be, as martial law is fully instated and modified, the power grid will be turned off after about an hour after sunset. Virtually all restaurants will disappear. World War III will go into super full effect shortly thereafter. All food that you eat will be kind of local. Like if you're on the coast, you're going to eat seafood, but you won't ever see beef again. If you're in the middle of the country, you'll see beef, but you'll never see seafood. Beer, cigarettes, whiskey will be unavailable. Estimated population decline according to mine, and I'm using some other data. I'm using some FEMA numbers as well. We will drop 45 million by almost the end of April. Life expectancy in the United States will then drop to about 57 years for the remainder. So nothing good will happen of this. Now, like I said, this is an exercise for something that's not actually going to happen. Donald Trump will not be removed from office. But if he is, take heart, because this will not happen. That's all. I'm out.